Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Ready?
All right. This is our second national semifinal interview at 174 pounds. The number 1 seed Keegan O'Toole of Missouri improves to 23-0 on the year with a 7-6 riding time victory over the 13th seed Cade DeVos of San Diego State.
South Dakota.
He will face Dean Hamady tomorrow, Oklahoma State, in the national final. And Keegan, we'll let you have an opening statement before we open it for questions.
Tomorrow night's going to be sweet.
That's a very succinct opening statement, so we'll open to questions now from the floor.
Kyle Klingman, Flow Wrestling. In your pre-press conference addressing the media, you said you're as good as you're going to get as far as injuries. What's the mentality you have to overcome that and perform and reach the highest level possible?
Well, I mean, there's always fundamental things that I need to stick to, and a couple of these matches haven't been too pretty, but at the same time, it's the national tournament. I don't think anyone really is going to remember how easy you won, or I guess how clean it was. So as long as you're just finding a way getting your hand raised, then that's all that really matters, especially in this tournament.
Additional questions for Keegan?
Kyle Klingman, Flow Wrestling. Talk about the season. You missed some time this year, and then you came back late in the season. How did you overcome those setbacks?
Yeah, I mean, this was probably the most unideal, surprising college season in my 5 years here at Mizzou. I think so much trust is what I had to have in my team, my coaches, my athletic training staff, my team doctor, and also just my teammates. I hated sitting out, and I hated the way that I was training. As you can see out there, I'm just not – I don't have that pop. I don't have that wild style like I usually do, where I'm trying to put up points and getting wild scrambles. It's been a little bit tighter. It's been a little bit, I guess you would say, not like me. And as much as I hate that, the circumstances are never going to be perfect. I think every year here I've had something hurting. It just stinks that my final year is probably the most unfortunate in terms of how my body's feeling. But then again, this is my 5th year doing this. Obviously, you only usually get 4 years. So, I mean, just that extra year is just, it weighs on your body. College wrestling is not easy. And, you know, after tomorrow night, I have a very, very long time away from the sport.
Gary Abbott, USA Wrestling. I mean, people talk about your athletic abilities, your wrestling skills, but talk a little bit about your determination, your mindset, your toughness, because, you know, obviously we're talking about a challenge this tournament, and you're stepping up at what a winner does, right?
Wait, sorry, what was the question again?
Well, I mean, talk about that part of your wrestling, because, you know, a lot of times people will be talking about some of the things you do to dazzle them, and this is a different part about why you're a champion.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Ben Askren about this not too long ago. I said, do you think toughness is a skill that that the wrestling world has stepped away from? And he said, yeah, if you go back 20 years ago, literally it was just a contest to see how tough someone was. And so with the evolution of skill, the evolution of people just getting better at the sport of wrestling, obviously that takes away from the toughness aspect. And so that part of wrestling can never be forgotten about, because wrestling it's a combat sport, and you're trying to impose your will and you're trying to break another person. And sometimes your guys' technique is pretty even, and sometimes your skill level and your strategy are so neck and neck. There's going to be one differing factor. It's who's willing to go the distance, who's willing to get that extra mat return, who's willing to get that one more breakdown, who's willing to wrestle for 7 minutes, not 6 minutes and 55 seconds, not anything less. But obviously you can see in some of these matches that I've been in, it's like, it's not pretty, I'm down, or maybe it's a tight score, but you just got to find a way.
We have one more question for Keegan.
Keegan O'Toole, you're going to be facing Dean Hamady in the NCAA Finals. What's your history with that opponent, and what are your expectations for that match?
I mean, we've been in the same weight class every single year. we wrestled in 2022, and obviously we had a fun match 2 weeks ago in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the Big 12 final, and so we just had to go back, get some rest, make sure the weight's good, and we got to wake up tomorrow and we got to be ready. I mean, it's not ever going to be easy against an opponent like Dean. He's super good. He's really savvy in a lot of areas, and we got into some wild scrambles. And I know the areas where I need to be to win the match, and I'm sure he knows the areas where he needs to be. And so we have to make adjustments, and then we have to try to make counter adjustments of the adjustments our opponent's making. Right. So we're both hopefully making adjustments from the Big 12 final, but who's going to make those counter adjustments to stop his adjustments? So I guess we'll be talking about that during the day, but overall, it's just the same things for me apply, the same fundamental skills, fundamental principles, the same 4 affirmations I repeat in my mind whenever I feel anxious, whenever I feel doubt, whenever I feel negative thought creeping in.
Well, as Keegan said in his opening statement, tomorrow night's going to be sweet. It's the number 1 seed Keegan O'Toole of Missouri will take on the 3rd seed Dean Hamady of Oklahoma State in the 174-pound national final. Keegan, congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.